you today. It's your communication skills teacher, Kavita teacher today. And today we are going to look at two parts of your Pop Tropical book. The story part and speaking and phonics. Okay, so before we start, I would like you to please get your pupils book and your activity book, your pencil and eraser, and put them right next to you, next to your computer. Okay? Alright, let's begin. Now, we'll begin with a few questions, okay? Alright, look at the picture. Who are these characters? Do you remember them? Do you remember this place from unit number 5 about clothes? Do you know where they are? Wonderful. The characters are at the Space Island Laundry. Okay? So what is a laundry room? A laundry room is a place where we go to, where we take our clothes to be cleaned. Okay? So we take our clothes there and they clean our clothes. We give them money and we take our clothes back. And our clothes are clean and sparkling. Okay? Alright. So who is wearing a dress? Can you remember who is wearing the dress? Wonderful. Prod 2 is wearing the dress. Prod 2 is wearing the dress. And who is wearing a costume? Who is wearing the costume? Can you guess? If you know the answer, please write who is wearing the costume in your notebooks. Okay, wonderful. Next page. Okay, so there is a plant. There is a flower in the picture. There is a flower in the picture. So where's the tif-tif plant? Can you see it? Is it up? Is it down? Is it next to Prod? Is it next to another character? Can you tell me where the tif-tif plant is? Wonderful. It's up here. Very good. It's up here. Okay. All right then. One minute, please. So before we begin by reading the dialogue and the story in your pupils book, I would like to ask, what do you think we are learning today? What are we learning today? Are we learning about animals? Are we learning about clothes? Are we learning about activities and routines? Wonderful. We are reading a story and acting it out. So, what do you think this story is about? Please look at this picture before we read the story. What do you think the story is about? The story is about two girls at the cinema. No. The story is about 4 characters going to the zoo. No. Then what is the story about? Look at the cover. Look at the activities the characters are doing in the picture. I think the story is about sports, exercise, okay? It's about sports and exercise. How do I know it? In the picture, the characters are in a gym and they're exercising. Okay? Now I want you to look at these characters. How do they feel? Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they excited? Okay? How do they feel? These three characters. I think they are excited. They are excited to be in the gym. Maybe they want to do some activities. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you go to the gym? I do, because I like to exercise every day. Okay, alright, so we're reading a story and we're going to act it out. Okay, alright. Let's move on to the story itself. So please open your books to your pupil's book, to page 70 and go to activity number 12. That is pupil's book, page 70, activity number 12. Okay. So the activity says listen and read. So to begin with, first we are going to listen to the story. Now, listening is important because you are going to listen to how they say certain words. Okay, so listen first and then we'll read later, okay?
Come and see the sports centre. We've got some tiff-tiff plants.
I'm strong. Ha ha! I can play basketball. Well, I can play tennis.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we can see what these characters are doing. So let's read together now. Read and repeat loudly. Read loudly. Come and see the sports center. So where are these characters? They are at a sports center. A sports center, a gym, these are synonyms, words with the same meaning. They are synonyms, okay? Alright, so come and see the sports center. We've got some tiff-tiff plants. So look at the picture. Can you see where the tiff-tiff plants are here? Wonderful, good job. Someone says, I'm strong. And the other laughs, ha 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 ha. I can play basketball, he says. And he says, well, I can play tennis. So how many of you in this class can play basketball very well? And how many of you can play tennis very well? Now, how many of you consider yourselves strong? Are you strong? Wonderful. Let's go to the next page, listen and then read.
I can swim. Look at me. I can ride a bike. Look, I can run. You're slow. You can't run fast.
Okay, now let's read together. I can swim. Look at me. I can ride a bike. Look, I can run. You're slow. You can't run fast. Let's move on to the next page.
Can you fly? No, I can't. I haven't got wings. Thanks, Prod 2. You're good at catching. Okay, come on. Let's find a tif-tif plant.
Can you fly? No, I can't. I haven't got wings. Thanks, Prod 2. You're good at catching. Okay, come on, let's find tif-tif plant. Let's find a tif-tif plant, okay? All right, so can you tell me what Prod 2 is good at? What is Prod 2 good at? I am good at singing. She is good at writing. They are good at jumping rope. What is Prod 2 good at? Great! He is good at catching, and he catches with his long arm. He catches his friend. Okay. Now, in our next activity, you are going to decide true or false, okay? So you will decide which sentences are true or false. Number 1, Prod 2 can play tennis. Prod 2 can play tennis. Is this true or false? Is this true or false? That's correct. It's true. Prod can play tennis. Let's move on to the next card. Prod can't swim. Prod can't swim. Is this true or false? Correct again. It is false. Prod can swim. So this sentence is false. True or false? Prod 1 can fly. Prod 1 can fly. Is this true or false? Correct again, it is false. Prod hasn't got wings, so he can't fly. Now, I would like you to open your pupil's book to page 70. Open your pupil's book to page 70. Now look at the picture. The characters in the picture, Prod 1, Prod 2, are exercising. They're exercising. They're riding bikes, they're running, they're swimming. This is exercise. Now, is exercising every day on Monday or Tuesday, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, is this something good or something bad? And why is it good or bad? Why do you think it's good or bad? So, in your notebooks, please write exercise is good or exercise is bad because, and give your reason, okay? I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Good job, okay. Let's move on to the next page. So, the message in this unit is that exercise every day. Every day you wake up in the morning, exercise before you do anything. Exercise in the morning, exercise sometimes in the afternoon. It is good because it is healthy, okay? And when you're healthy, you are happy, okay? All right. Now, quickly open your activity books to page 62. Open your activity books to page 62. And we will be doing activities 11 to 13. Now, in your activity books, you will write the answers, and when we finish the lesson, you will take a picture and you will send these pictures to me on WhatsApp, okay? Okay, let's do this together. Activity book, page 62, activity 11. Read the story again. What can't prod 1 do? Okay, so we're going to go back to the story to read it quickly and see what prod 1 can't do, okay? Let's read this page together once again. Can you fly? No, I can't. I haven't got wings. Thanks, Prod 2. You're good at catching. Okay, come on. Let's find Tif plants. Now, back to the question. What can't Prod 1 do? What can't Prod 1 do? Please write your answers in this section. Great. Prod 1 can't fly. Yes, the correct answer is Prod 1 can't fly. So please write it in the empty space here. Let's go to the next activity. Activity book, page 62, activity 12. So look at the story again. Write the things prod 1 and prod 2 can and can't do. So here you will write activities prod 1 can and can't do. For example, play basketball, they put a tick. That means prod 1 can play basketball. You put a tick. But for example, if prod 1 can't swim, you say swim and you will put a cross, okay? You will put a cross. So in this activity, you will write the sentence for example, you will write the sentence swim and you will tick or you will cross. Okay? So you will write if prod 1 can swim and you will tick or cross. Ticking means he can swim and crossing means he can't swim. Okay, so let's get back to our activity. And in this column, you will write activities prod 2 can and can't do. In the same way as this one, the activities he can do, for example, ride a bike, you will tick or cross. Tick or cross, okay? I will give you a few minutes to do that activity. Great! Let's move on to the next activity, activity 13. Activity number 13. Now, in activity number 13, you will look at these tables that you have finished writing, okay? By now, you should have finished writing these. So imagine these have been finished, okay? Finished. The sentences have been written. You have ticked and crossed. So now, you will go to activity number 13 and write full sentences. For example, here we wrote play basketball and we ticked against this sentence. So that means Prod 1 can play basketball. And in this activity, we wrote Prod 1 can play basketball, but he can't run fast. So, for example, if you wrote about Prod 2 can play tennis, and then swim, can't swim, for example. So you'll go here and write Prod 2 can play tennis, but he can't swim, for example, okay? So you'll write sentences like that, 1, 2, and 3 sentences. Now, in this part, we, students in the class are going to tell the story. So you students are going to tell the story.
Come and see the sports centre. We've got some tiff-tiff plants.
I'm strong. Ha ha! I can play basketball. Well, I can play tennis.
Okay, now that you have listened, I would like you to guess what Prod 1 and Prod 2 say. So, in this part, what does Prod 1 say? Do you remember? Great! Prod 1 says, I am strong. And what does Prod 2 say? He says, ha 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 ha. He laughs. And in this picture, what does Prod 1 say? Great! Prod 1 says, I can play basketball. What does Prod 2 say here? Do you remember? Wonderful, you're excellent. Prod 2 says, I can play tennis. Now, guess what Prod 1 and 2 says in these bubbles. Do you remember? Wonderful, I can swim, he says. And here he says, I can jump rope. That's incorrect. Of course, he says, I can ride a bike. Look at what he's doing. He pressed on the slow button. And he says, I can run fast. But he doesn't believe, so he says, no, you're too slow, he says. So let's listen to the answers and confirm if the answers are correct.
I can swim. Look at me. I can ride a bike. Look, I can run. You're slow. You can't run fast.
And do you remember what they say in these bubbles? In here, he asks, can you fly? And here he says, no, I can't. I haven't got wings. And what does he say here? Do you remember? He says, thank you, Prod. You're good at catching. Now let's listen to what they say.
Can you fly? No, I can't. I haven't got wings. Thanks, Prod 2. You're good at catching. Okay, come on. Let's find a tif-tif plant.
Now, before we move on to the speaking and phonics, I would like you to tell me if you can spot where the tif-tif plants are in all the pictures. So in this picture, in these pictures, where is the tif-tif plant? Can you see it? Wonderful. The tif-tif plant is here. Good job. Let's move to the next picture. In these pictures, where are the tif-tif plants? We have one here. Circle it, please. And another here. And in the last picture, where are the tif-tif plants? We have one falling on the ground and we have one here on the floor. Good job. And now we're going to move on to the speaking and phonics part. Now we'll begin with the phonics and speaking part. So to begin with, we'll try to remember who said certain words in the story. So let's try to remember who said certain words in the story. Okay, so we have some sentences and we have the characters, and we're going to try and guess who said these words and match the activities. So, well, I can play tennis. Well, I can play tennis. Who says these words? Who says these words? Can you remember? Prod 2 says these sentences. So can you match on the screen who said those words? Okay. I can play basketball. I can play basketball. Who said these words? I can play basketball. Who said these words? Correct. Prod 1 says I can play basketball. Who says come and see the sports center? Who says come and see the sports center? Of course, Arnold says come and see the sports center. So let's do the activity together. So Arnold says come and see the sports center. Arnold says come and see the sports center. And who says, well, I can play basketball? Let me click 1 minute. He says, I can play basketball. Are you sure? Well, I can play tennis. He says, I can play tennis. Good job. Now let's go to the next one. Who says these words? Who says these words? So, who says the sentence, can you fly? Who says the sentence, can you fly? He says, can you fly? Now who says we've got some tif-tif plants? He says we've got some tif-tif plants. And the last activity, who says, look, I can run? He says, look, I can run. Good job. So, today we are going to be learning about certain sounds in English. We're going to be learning about the BL sound, bl, FL sound, GL sound, PL sound, and SL sound. Okay, to do that, please open your pupils book to page 71 and open it to activity 14. We are going to listen to activity 14. We're going to point and say. So we're going to listen, point and say. So let's begin.
S O S O B O B O F O F O P O P O G O G O.
Now, without listening, I would like you to repeat that. I'm going to point at the sounds and you're going to repeat. L, L, B, L, B, L, F, L, F, L, G, L, G, L, Now we are going to look at some words that have these sounds. Words that have the s, l, b, l, g, l, s, l, f, l sound, okay? We are going to look at words with these sounds. So on the same page, page 71 of your pupils book, activity 15. So let's listen.
B O A K black
Black. B, l, k, black.
O A G
Listen and
Flag.
repeat. L, A, G. L, A, G. Let's move on to the next one.
O O T float
L, O, T. L, O, T. Float.
G O R S glass
Repeat. G, L, A, S. Glass.
O A M plum
L, A, M. Plum. Not plume, but plum. P, L, A. This sound is A. A. Repeat after me. A. P, L, A. M. Plum.
O A T plate
P, L, A, T. Now this sound is A. A. Not R sound. This is the A sound. P, L, A, T. Plate. Plate. Not plot, but plate.
S O I P slip
This is also another sound. S, L, E, P. S, L, E, P. Not sleep, but slip. Not sleep, but slip. Let's hear that again.
S O I P slip sleep,
Now this one is different from the previous one. This is slip. This is sleep. Sleep. Okay? On page 71, activity 16, we're going to read the sentences loud and then find the BL, FL, GL, PL and SL sound. Sentence number 1. I want a glass of pink milk. I want a glass of pink milk. So can you see any of these sounds? Great. You can see g in glass. Great. Let's move on to number 3. Go to sleep, not go to slip. Go to sleep. Can you find any of these sounds? Great. Number 3. There's a plum. There's plum jam on the spoon. There's plum jam on the spoon. Okay. Alright, can you find any of these sounds? Great. We can find the sound in plump. So we can find this sound. Number 4. Look at the black flag. Look at the black flag. Here we have 2 of those sounds. We have 2 of those sounds. Here we have b in black and f in flag. Good job. In this activity, which is on page 63, activity 14, we will read the words and circle the pictures. Read the words and circle the pictures. So the first word is flag. Can you please find flag and circle it? It's already circled. It's right here. Now find the words glass, sleep and slip and circle them as well. I'll give you a few minutes to do that in your books, in your activity books. Have you finished? Great. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. Activity book, page 63, activity 15. Listen and connect the letters, then write. Okay, so you're going to listen first, then you connect the letters, and then you will write them. So let's begin.
1.
puff,
2.
bell,
3.
food,
4.
book,
Let's do that once again.
1.
puff,
2.
bell,
3.
food,
4.
book.
Excellent. Now to activity 16. We're going to listen and write the words. Listen and write the words.
1.
Black,
2.
plum,
3.
float,
4.
plate,
Wonderful. Let's move on to activity number 17. Read aloud, then listen and check. Read aloud, then listen and check.
Look at the ship with the black flag. One man slips. Look out for that shark.
Now read aloud with me. Look at the ship with the black flag. One man slips. Look out for that shark. Now, this is where we come to the end of our class. It was nice to have you in my class. Thank you very much and take care. Don't forget to send the pictures of your pupils book and activity books and send them to my WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.